Hey everyone, welcome back to another Godzilla Battle Line video. And today I am coming at you with our first viewer requested how-to guide video. Now, on my Discord I ran a poll on what character you would want to see, and Space Godzilla won that poll, so he will be next. This video is on Megaguirus, who was actually requested to me prior to me even putting up that poll, and one that I had been putting a little bits and pieces together because we were waiting for the season to change so that we could see if she was going to get any nerfs or buffs. She got some buffs, so we're making this video first, and Space Godzilla will be next. So before we get into how to use Megaguirus, I want to go over a little bit about her in the game. Now, Megaguirus is a 3-star unit, which means she is obtainable in every single map in the game. Lucky map, miracle map, legendary map, deluxe map, whatever. She's not limited to any maps, and she is available wherever you can pull a unit from. She is a 5-cost unit, and she can attack leaders, third force, ground, aerial, and facility units that are on the field. She also has a very unique ability, which is an on-spawn debuff AoE. So what this means is that if an enemy is trapped in her area of effect when she spawns in, they will suffer from 20% decrease to movement speed and attack speed for 8 seconds. So now that I've briefly gone over some little details about Megaguirus, let's talk about exactly how you should be using her. Playing Megaguirus in a more defensive manner will yield better results than a strictly offensive approach. She has a decent health pool that can compete with some of the 4-star units, and her damage is solid after her recent buff, and it gives her a fighting chance against most units, but she still is having a hard time holding her own against some of the more meta units and will definitely need to be paired with other more capable units for her to be effective on offense. So with that being said, Megaguirus is more of a defensive character. Because of her AoE and her debuff, you will really want to use her more as a utility, less as a win condition. So we're going to go over some strategies that you're going to want to use to make sure you're getting the most benefit out of your Megaguirus possible. So to properly make use of her debuff, what you're going to want to do is wait until enemy units are either on your side of the battlefield, or you can place her on top of an enemy unit. So since Megaguirus' debuff had its range extended, you can now actually slow down your opponents from a greater distance than you could in the previous metas. So a good example of using her ability is if Godzilla Ultima has placed himself down on your side of the field and has begun attacking your leader. Godzilla Ultima isn't going to change who he is attacking, so putting Megaguirus down on top of Godzilla Ultima, or close enough to him that he will be within range of her AoE, is a massive benefit for you and your team. You will be changing his attack speed from 3.3 seconds to 3.6 seconds if my math is correct. That should be a 20% increase in time. That is incredible, considering Godzilla Ultima already had his attack speed nerfed from 3.1 seconds to 3.3 this season. Making it 3.6 is going to be a lot harder for him to do what he is supposed to do, and that is tons and tons of damage. So this doesn't just apply to Ultima, this applies to anyone close to your leader. Dropping Megaguirus debuff down on them is going to slow them down for 8 seconds and give maybe your leader and some of your units a little bit of extra time to put some damage in before they start attacking again. This is actually a really great way of slowing damage to your team and trying to recover. Like I said, you have to use Megaguirus defensively, so if you're using her when you're being attacked directly, you can really slow them down and turn the tide of battle if you play properly. So now, what are some units that Megaguirus is strong against? First and foremost, she is a flying unit, so that means she's already going to be very good at countering units that cannot hit in the air, like Godzilla 89, Anguirus, and Jet Jaguar. Now, out of those three, Godzilla 89 and Jet Jaguar are still seeing a lot of play this season, and low-level players tend to use Anguirus because he is a good tank substitute. So, if you have Megaguirus, just know she can pretty solidly counter all three of them. She doesn't do as much damage as you would like against Godzilla 89 because he has an insane health pool, but just know he can't do anything about her, so she is still viable against him. Next, I want to talk about the rush units. Now, we just got a brand new unit added to the game, Mothra Leo, and he is a rush attacker. Mothra Leo and King Caesar both have the same kind of rush down ability. So by using Megaguirus' debuff that we spoke about earlier, you can actually slow down their rush. Once King Caesar and Mothra Leo make contact with one of your units, you are in for a ton of damage, right? So if you can slow them down and kill them before they reach your leader, that is actually huge. So both of those characters with the rushdown abilities are going to fall victim to her slow, because it's going to give you an additional 8 seconds of them moving in slow motion that you can kill them, which is huge. And also, like how Megaguirus can stop the last two units we talked about, she can also stop the Stealth Bomber and Gigan from reaching your leader or facilities. Both Gigan and the Stealth Bomber will go after facilities first and then your leader character. So if you can drop Megaguirus down on them, you can slow them down from reaching your leader and their desired targets and give you plenty of time to kill them. So a very similar counter to Leo and King Caesar, but since they don't have a rushdown ability, I thought that I would mention them together and King Caesar and Leo separately. Next up, I want to be talking about units that are going to be strong against your Megaguirus and units that you're going to have to look out for on the field. So first and foremost, a good counter who has always been a good counter to pretty much every unit we've ever discussed is Godzilla Ultima. I don't think I really have to go into too much explanation on why Godzilla Ultima is really good, but I will. And he has just insane range, and that's about it. He has great range. His attack speed, even though it was nerfed to 3.3 seconds, still is really solid. And if he's not caught in that debuff zone and he targets Megaguirus, he's just going to blow her away, especially one at a significant level, which some players already have pretty decent Godzilla Ultimas, especially if they've been playing for a long time. Next up is the unsung hero of last season, and he's seeing a lot of play this season, and it is Manila. Now, Manila has great range, he's really cheap, and he has a really good stun. So once Megaguirus' debuff is over, all she has is her just physical attack, right? And Manila can stop her basically from attacking. She's kind of slow and she has to be real close to hit, so he can just stun her and stun her and stun her. He's not going to stun lock her, but he's definitely going to make it a lot harder for her to contribute any damage to your offensive push. So Manila is definitely a good counter. Next up, I have the flyers, so Rodan, Mothra, and King Ghidorah, and each one of them are pretty good against Megaguirus in a little bit of a different way than the other. Rodan is pretty much on par with Megaguirus, but his attack speed is a lot faster, so he's going to be able to put out more damage against your Megaguirus, and your Megaguirus can put out on him. Next is Mothra, and Mothra has tick damage, so when she attacks, she's going to hit roughly 10 times for little bits of damage here and there, and just like Rodan, she's attacking a lot faster than Megaguirus is attacking. And finally in the flyers, I have King Ghidorah listed. Now, King Ghidorah, I think out of the 3 flying counters, is definitely the least effective of the counters, just because he has to get a lot closer these days to attack. However, he does put out a ton of damage still, so just keep that in mind. It's a pretty fair fight, at least in my personal experience. My Megaguirus has had pretty fair fights against Ghidorahs, but my Megaguirus has never won against a Ghidorah, so take that as you will. So I want to end this review for Megaguirus with a footnote for anyone who is thinking about using Megaguirus. I personally am a fan of Megaguirus, and I have her slotted in my deck. I will say though, Megaguirus is not a meta card in my opinion, but I think overall she's a good utility card to have slotted in. Her debuff is incredibly helpful on defense, and she is pretty good at taking aggro on defense. However, once her debuff goes away and she's on the offensive, she is a sitting duck. She can be hit by anything that can hit anti-air, and she doesn't have a lot of ways to deal with problems, so you always have to have her paired with someone on offense, and she's basically just a little bit of extra damage. She's good on defense, she's not great on offense, she's not going to make or break your deck, but I do think she is a very good utility card, and I use her regularly. Thank you so much for sticking it out through this review. Our next one coming up is Space Godzilla, so that'll be out real soon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye.